We have Isaiah Collier. And you know what? Let's spoil it here. We got 3 Jazz players coming up, Grant. So we should ask about which one is kind of impressed you the most. I know you have some strong feelings about Collier. I will say before I throw it to you, his swing skill is going to just be his efficiency from the floor. It is all over the place. He's not there defensively yet, but I think you look at him and you can kind of see like the tenacity and the level. Oh, you could see him being, at least for his position, that's not going to be he'll be a quality defender. I will say it would not shock me. This is what I want to drive home with Isaiah Collier. We fast forward like 3 years. If you told me he was one of like the 3 to 8 best passers in the NBA, I'd look at you and say, yeah, okay. I go, he is throwing some just like ridiculous when he gets going downhill and just like the things he can see with his live dribble. He is a heart attack.
I was going to say, like, if you told me Isaiah Collier led the league in assists in 3 years, I'd be like, yeah, all right. I guess, like, was it like the
mine wasn't spicy enough, I guess.
No, it's just, he is such an unusual player, though, right? Like, I was trying to think of comps for him. Like, one, the shooting is like, well, I don't know, like, what you do with that. So just to put a finer point on it, since the All-Star break, which has been, like, he's been better, 29% from 3, 43% overall. That's up from 41% and 23% before the break. Like it's a giant, like blinking like you can't be a good NBA guard if that's how you shoot. Like just we're done. So like that has to get better. But the combination with what's set that aside, who's the comp for this guy? Like if he's an average shooter, I still don't know. Cause like the frame is so unusual for a point. Like he's just like a fire hydrant. And then
is it Kyle Lowry?
He seems bigger than Lowry. Do I have that wrong?
Lowry's 6 foot. What is Collier? He's definitely.
I don't know. Maybe that's but Lowry was, he wasn't always a great shooter. And I don't know that Lowry was this good a passer either, to be honest. Like,
no, Collier is substantially 6'3".
And his game is like downhill, like bull into the lane, make the right pass. Like I don't know who that is. That's a weird
like Julius Randle and Russell Westbrook combined.
He's kind of like a smaller Julius Randle. That's interesting. I like that. So that's where I hesitate to like buy into all the positives, of which he's got some, because it's like, I don't know what the precedent is for a player like this having like real success, but like, sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's like, well, that means there's no answer for this guy because he's like a unique combination of skills. But I don't know what to project for him other than to say, like you led with, like, if he can't shoot it better, then I don't know like what this is. But if he can shoot it like okay, then the downhill stuff gets even nastier, because if as it is, he's getting into the lane with guys like just daring him to drive and he still makes it happen.
Yeah, and I think, look, we've seen there's probably been like at least small, like he's shooting 70.5% in the restricted area since February 1st. I think that's, so if he can be like a consistently strong finisher, he's going to get to the basket. And so I might be higher on his floor than it seems like you are. It might be more dependent on the personnel around him at that point. But as you said, like with defenses keying in on him, or like he's just like bull in a china shop, like busting through these barriers on the defensive end. And there's also, I think what's interesting, there's directionality to his handle too. Like it doesn't have to be straight beelines all the time. So I think what they've discovered with him as a playmaker, and I think the flashes he has shown as a finisher, at least but it's going to be like, can he score from another level? Because if he can't, I don't know who would be the comp then at that point.
I don't know. I just looking at the shot profile too, like over a third of his shots are from in that 3 to 10 foot range, and he's like at 44%, which is actually like, I'm surprised it's that high. I haven't watched.
Yeah. Actually, I would not have guessed it was that high. So
yeah, I know I would have said lower, but that's way too many shots from that, like not quite all the way to the rim range for someone that's just like, I don't think you want to live that way. That you can't have the 3 to 10 footers be your bread and butter. But then it's like, well, I'd like him to shoot more, replace those with threes that he's shooting under 30% on. I don't know. Like it, yeah, I'm not, I don't know, out or pessimistic by any stretch. It's just like, there's just a threshold factor of like, can he be remotely decent as a shooter outside the restricted area? And I don't know. Like, I don't know yet.
Next up from the Jazz is Kyle Filipowski. We talked a little bit about him because both of us had him on second team all rookie, right? At the 3/4 mark.
Oh, yeah.
I think. I can't say enough good things about him offensively. I know the shooting numbers were kind of iffy coming out of college, but I think I looked, and from what I did, the minimal scouting of him, it felt like, okay, like he will become a good shooter. He's still ironically shooting 65% from the foul lines since February 1st, which is just weird because he's shooting 1,000,000,000,000% from three during that span. It's actually 47.1%. I think what's impressed me the most, and like the scalability of his shooting for sure, this dude runs the floor. He has like an effective field goal rate of 68 in transition. And so he's taking like threes in transition. It's not just, but he's good at leaking out or just running the floor in general, getting end to end. So like being able to open up those opportunities at the rim. The passing, the live dribble passing, like, no, this is not Nikola Jokic-esque, but it's like, oh, no, he's finding, like, he's working on kickouts. He doesn't have this one-track mind. And it's, oh, wait, he's putting the ball on the floor? I don't think you should ever feature him this way. And because I think pretty clearly the Jazz view him as a 4. The center numbers are not good. They've tried it. I think you don't have to worry about him, like, kind of feeding him in the post as much. But, like, he has he can hit a turnaround J. There's, like, a bunch of different layers to this guy's offensive game. And I look at him and I'm wondering, is this a starting caliber front court player? I think a lot's just going to come down to the defensive end. He's not laterally quick enough. He can't hold up at the center position. So that's a very easy way to say, no, he's going to have to come off the bench. But the scope of his offensive game is a lot wider, especially this early on, than I ever thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I think he is a starting caliber big, not a center, so a 4. That's part of it. It's like, well, 3s and 4s are like kind of the same now in most lineups, but like offensively, I think he's there. Just the shooting is what it is. Like he's gotten all the way up to just under 40% on the year from 3. He makes half his shots overall. Like the free throw percentage is weird. He doesn't get there enough, but like it's almost 4 assists per 36 for like a front court player. That's
live dribble stuff too.
Yeah, it's real. The offense is real. Like I was looking the other day, I think he's in like the 3rd percentile in defensive estimated plus minus, which is as I consult my proprietary metrics, it's spitting out like that's not good. So it is just
the huge heuristic.
Yeah. No, that's what it is. It's there's a subscription service that you can message me on the side for that to learn that the 3rd percentile of something is not good. So let's say,
oh boy,
that. Well, because you've got Walker Kessler there. So, like, yeah, I have opinions on him vary, but I do think it's reasonable to conclude, like, eventually that guy with decent talent around him is the anchor of a good defense. Like, it's not like Walker Kessler's not at, like, the Gobert level where it's like, oh, you have him, so you're a top 7 defense. But, like, he's fairly close to that if you put reasonable personnel. So does the fit, like, favor Filipowski potentially? Because, like, you need that offense on this team, especially when your guards can't shoot.
Do you know what I think? Do you know what I think? I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the guard thing because it's true. I think what actually my favorite was, so Walker Kessler, yes, that fit favors him. But if you kind of look at the team moving forward, the size that you could have at the 2 through 4 when you're fully healthy, where if you could play Filipowski with Kessler, Hendricks, and Lauri Markkanen, that is a lineup you could try. Or at the very least, you could certainly play him with 2 of those guys, Kessler and then one of those other guys. Not that Lauri Markkanen's going to insulate you then, so I'd prefer to see it with Hendricks. I just think they have other ways to insulate him. And in theory, I still think Cody Williams can kind of be that player, but, he's not on this list for a reason, folks.
I mean, you could argue his leap has been as big as anyone's because he was literally invisible for most of the year. And now I think I've actually seen him. So
I think he might be trying to do too much at the moment. We were at one
really? Did he take a shot this week? Do you think that's too much? God.
So, but I think the fit, at least having Kessler there, could favor him. I think it still matters then if you don't think that Taylor Hendricks, when healthy, is going to work out and that you can't, because Filipowski could be a 3 on offense. I don't think that's the way to maximize him. And that's maybe where you run into a problem. So if you don't buy that, then you need to find, you need an upgrade as a wing defender on this team. Maybe that is Taylor Hendricks, but beyond that, you don't really have an option.
I mean, the other interesting thing is the best version of Filipowski sort of resembles Lauri Markkanen offensively. Like not the movement shooting, but it's like when you said well, he can be a 3 on offense. Like, well, that's true. That Hendricks is like indispensable if you're going to be playing Filipowski or Markkanen defensively. So it's like, I don't know that there's a pathway until they do trade Markkanen. But then it's just like, great. You slot in there. Hendricks is there. You got Williams and then George and Collier, your ones. Like, okay.
I don't know. Great is the word I'd use for this team after trading Lauri Markkanen for sure.
Yeah, great for Filipowski. He's gonna get a lot of shots.
Brice Sensabaugh, he's shooting 42.7% from three since February 1st. Also of note, he's done a lot more stuff in transition for them. He's also shooting 70.6% in the restricted area. I don't know what to make. Like, he doesn't always play a shit ton. And I just don't know, how do we forecast forward for him? Is this just what he is, or have you seen anything? And I'm going to preface it with this. I have not. That would make you think that there's more feel there as a passer, or someone who could be an even better defender if you're looking at like the way that he could move. Because he's like, his strength is okay, but like he just doesn't move great for someone his size on the defensive end either. So I've noted it because he's actually fun to watch. And I think if you just want someone who could come in and, sometimes he'll generate his own shot. But I think what he's impressed with me the most when I talked about him coming out of school was I worried it was kind of the Jalen Tyson concern for me, where it was, what is he going to fit like if he just can't have the ball? Or like I had the same concern with Jacoby Walter. He's proven that he doesn't need it. And I think that's a really big deal.
So I think I do believe in the shooting. He's a 90% free throw shooter this year. So like there has been a spike. I want to get it right. So he's like, no one's a 47% 3-point shooter, which is what he's been since the break, but he's 37 before it, and the free throw shooting legitimizes it. Like, I don't think there's more like creation, at least for others. Like, he's got more turnovers than assists on the year, and that's still true in the sample after the All-Star break. So like, he is someone that I would trust as like a catch and shoot or catch and attack kind of guy that doesn't really even have like the ideal size you want at that position. He's got decent size, but like, I don't know that I see him as more than like a 15-minute a game guy, but he's still, he hasn't turned 22 yet. So like, maybe there's more. It's just like, I think the assist to turnover stuff feels like it forecloses a fair amount of like, there's this kind of upside for him. But as like as a guy who's going to make shots and they just give you a decent size, like that's something. I think I'm probably more apt to be buying the Filipowski hype and even the Collier upside than I would with Sensabaugh.
I would agree. I think that him being a little bit more plug and play offensively, at least opens up a pathway to him having a role. But I would argue if he's ever a steady starter in this league, it feels like he's just eating innings for a bad team.
Maybe so, yeah. Which he is right now.
Fair enough.